George left the Ruston Proctor Works in Lincoln, England in 1911 and was imported into Australia by their agents H.V. Mackay of Melbourne. George is named after his original owner, farmer George Cook, and spent his entire working life pumping irrigation water on George's farm, Ferntree, located in Woodstock, which is near Townsville in Queensland. He was spotted in a derelict condition, still on the riverbank in 1967, by Pat Flecker, a local doctor. Even though the owner had not used the engine for 30 years, he would not part with it. But when Pat called back for another look in 1976, the old farmer had passed away and the new owner was happy to part with it. By 1979 he was back in steam. Years later, in 1998, the stay tubes had come to the end of their life and Pat decided that the time had come to find new owners for George, and he was sold to Ross and Joe Lloyd from Melbourne. Back in Melbourne, the task of replacing the stay tubes began, but a closer inspection showed that more repairs were needed. After a lot of work, he was finished just in time for the 1999 Steamfest Rally. The first task in the process of steaming an engine is to fill the boiler with water. Because George has recently had a boiler inspection, Ross is checking the inspection plates for leaks and is adjusting them if required. The boiler is filled until the water level sits halfway up the sight glass. Water needs to be visible at all times in the sight glass once George is steamed to ensure that the crown of the firebox is covered to prevent damage. If the water level drops below this point, a safety fusible plug located in the top of the firebox will melt, releasing the steam and extinguish the fire. As Joe prepares to light the fire, Ross closes the smoke box. Joe checks the damper is open before lighting the fire with some kerosene-soaked rags. Wood is then added to build the fire. Before sealing the boiler, Ross first puts in a measured amount of boiler treatment, which reduces the corrosive effects of the water on the boiler. Meanwhile, the fire is being monitored and more wood is added as required. It's time to fit the whistle. Water treatment is also added to the water in the water tank, which is used to top up the boiler. While waiting for the boiler pressure to build, there is still plenty to do. The fire needs maintaining and all the various moving parts on the engine need lubricating. Pressure is finally starting to build, so it won't be long now. On a cold day, it can take a couple of hours to get a good head of steam. George's boiler is rated for 120 psi, but anything above 75 psi is good enough to get him around on club days. George is now steamed and almost ready to go, but as there may be condensate built up in the cylinder, the engine must first be run with the cylinder cocks open to allow any water to escape. Water in a cylinder can cause serious damage to a steam engine because it is not compressible like steam. George is now ready to run and heads off to the arena. The controls for operating a traction engine may appear daunting, but they are really quite simple. There is a regulator or throttle which is used to set the speed of the engine. This lever is pushed forward to open. A gear lever for engaging the gears to move the engine. When the engine is used for belt work, this lever is not engaged. A reversing lever for placing George into forward or reverse, which is moved in the direction you wish to travel. The steering wheel, and a brake, which is used for parking or can be engaged when travelling down inclines. So simple you would be driving in no time, as this novice driver shows on his first lesson.